One mistake a lot of people make on Data Insights is not matching the data to the question. I'm Mark Glenn, the GMAT mentor, here to make the GMAT make sense. So here's a great example that almost everybody misses, and it's really designed to trap you if you're not paying attention. So we have a title here, Growth of International Immigrant Populations, and if we look at that first question, it's asking us, does the information in the graph directly affirm the statement that the number of immigrants in France did not change significantly from 1980 to 2005? Okay, so France is that orange line, and we can see in 1980 it's about 11, right? And in 2005 it's still about 11, so it looks like it did not change that much. Maybe it went down a little bit, right? But it does seem like the data supports or affirms this idea that the number of immigrants did not change. However, you got to be really careful to, again, match data to question. What does the data actually tell us here? Always read all parts of the graph. This y-axis here is actually telling us the percentage of total population, right? And what is the question asking? About the number of immigrants. And notice that number is actually in italics. Whenever something is in italics, that means it's important. And in here, it really highlights the fact that we have a mismatch between percentage and number. So those two don't match, and that means that we don't know whether the population went up or not, okay? And we can prove this if we just pick numbers for the population. So for example, in 1980, we could say that France had a population of 100 million. Again, just for example, and that would tell us that the immigrants were 11 million. And it could be that that just stayed the same, stayed flat for those next 25 years. Or it could be that the population doubled overall to 200 million, and which would mean the immigrant population also doubled to 22 million, right? So in that case, there would be quite a big difference. Now, it doesn't matter what the population of France actually is, right? You don't want to bring in outside information. It's asking you what you know based on the graph, right? And here we just don't know. Either one of those situations is possible. So really the correct answer is the data neither directly affirms nor directly contradicts the statement that the number did not change significantly. So the second question is referencing the US's rate of growth. And you can always think of rate of growth or rate of change as simply slope. And so in this case, you can see that the United States here, which is in green, has a pretty steady rate of growth or slope throughout most of the period, dipping there slightly at the end. And the question is asking, when is the United States rate of growth less than that of another country, right? So you can see that here we have this country, which is Ireland, has a steeper slope from that period, 1995 to 2005. And so this is a great match, actually, of data to question. Here it's clear that we have a higher rate of growth, a higher slope, and so the answer is 1995 to 2005. So it's critical to make sure you always match data to question on Data Insights problems. And in particular, if a question seems too easy, make sure that the question is actually asking what it seems to ask you, and that the data is actually telling you what it seems to tell you. Keep this principle in mind, and you can really pick up points where lots of other people falter. So hopefully that helps the GMAT make sense.